I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Commissioner Cantalasa.
You'll please remain standing and bow your heads for the Lord's Prayer. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. Thank you.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to our December 18th regular meeting. Our next meeting will be our reorganization meeting, Monday, January 6th, 10:30 a.m. in this room. And then our next public workshop will be held on Tuesday, January 7th at 10:30 a.m. Our next regular meeting will tentatively be Wednesday, January 8th at 10:30 a.m. Based on the reorganization meeting. Madam Clerk.
Mr. Cantala Mesa,
Here.
Frenchco. Here. Mr. Malloy.
Here.
Item number 1 is to dispense with reading the minutes of the workshop session dated December 10th, 2024, and the regular meeting dated December 11th, 2024, and accept and approve the video recordings of both meetings as the official meeting minutes.
Motion to approve.
I'll second.
And then discussion. I still believe that these are done incorrectly. There are no actual written meeting minutes being taken. They're using the video. And if you use a video, you have to have a proper transcription and people have to announce their names before they speak, and that doesn't happen.
Mr. Cantala Mesa,
Yes.
Mr. Malloy,
Yes.
Ms. Frenchco.
For the reason that I just stated, and that the videos actually skip as well. No.
Item number 2 is to approve the bills.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Mr. Cantala Mesa,
Yes.
Mr. Malloy,
Yes.
Ms. Frenchco.
Yes.
Item number 3 is to adopt a resolution authorizing expenditure for responding to or mitigating the public health emergency from American Rescue Plan Act funds. And this is for Healthy Hearts and Paws Project. And down a little further toward the bottom, whereas by way of a resolution adopted on October 18th, 2023, the county awarded a grant to the nonprofit called Healthy Hearts and Paws in the amount of $25,000 and approved a grant agreement for amount. And whereas for the reasons set forth in the original resolution, the county has determined that the project is eligible for additional funding in the amount of $12,847.06.
Motion to approve?
Second.
Mr. Cantala Mesa,
Yes.
Mr. Malloy,
Yes.
Ms. Frenchco.
Yes.
Item number 4 is to enter into an amended agreement between the Board of Trumbull County Commissioners and Healthy Hearts and Paws Project as approved by ARPA Legal Counsel for funds for the construction of Hearts and Paws Expanded Shelter and for any costs associated with the continued care of its animals. And the Board of Trumbull County Commissioners allocates the sum of $25,000 plus an additional $12,847.06.
Motion to approve?
Second.
Mr. Cantala Mesa,
Yes.
Mr. Malloy.
Yes.
Ms. Frenchco.
Yes.
Item number 5 is to adopt a resolution authorizing expenditure for responding to or mitigating the public health emergency from American Rescue Plan Act funds. And this is an amendment, Vernon Township to Mesopotamia Township Road Repair Funds. And on the next page, Commissioners, whereas pursuant to the above authority by way of a resolution adopted July 17th, 2024, the county approved a road repair agreement with Vernon Township for work on Bushnell Campbell Road and allocated ARPA funds for said agreement in the amount of $408,069. And whereas the project value amounted to only $337,257.65, and whereas the county wishes to reallocate the remaining $70,811.35 to another eligible road repair project agreement with Mesopotamia Township approved by the county on December 4th, 2024, with the passage of this resolution.
Motion to approve?
Second that.
Mr. Cantala Mesa,
Yes.
Mr. Malloy,
Yes.
Ms. Frenchco.
Yes.
Item number 6 is to adopt a resolution authorizing expenditure for responding to or mitigating the public health emergency from American Rescue Plan Act funds, and this is for downtown buildings broadband. And Commissioners, on the next page, the county allocates an amount not to exceed $200,000 for the extension of fiber wiring from the county administration building to the following: Talmer Building, which includes Planning Commission, Building Inspection, Archive Center, Veterans Services, which is also on East Market Street, and Family Court on Main Avenue in Warren.
Motion to approve?
Second.
Discussion, is the Court of Appeals is not being included? I'm trying to figure out why they determine certain buildings and not other buildings.
Tim Hanna for Trumbull County IT. Court of Appeals has their own IT service. We don't have any association with them.
Okay, thank you.
Mr. Cantala Mesa,
Yes.
Mr. Malloy,
Yes.
Ms. Frenchco.
Yes.
Item number 7 is to authorize the execution of a memorandum of understanding between the Trumbull County Auditor's Office and the Board of Trumbull County Commissioners for the purpose of utilizing up to $200,000 on the Trumbull County Downtown Office High-Speed Wired Broadband Network Project to be paid from Coronavirus State and Local Fiscal Recovery Funds Program, American Rescue Plan Act.
Motion to approve?
Second.
Mr. Cantala Mesa,
Yes.
Mr. Malloy,
Yes.
Ms. Frenchco.
Yes.
Item number 8 is to adopt a resolution authorizing expenditure for responding to or mitigating the public health emergency from American Rescue Plan Act funds. And this is Vienna Township Necessary Equipment. This is a one-time grant to Vienna Township in the amount of $5,000 to be used towards the purchase of necessary equipment for the fire department, which may include an ambulance.
Motion to approve?
Second.
Mr. Cantala Mesa,
Yes.
Mr. Malloy,
Yes.
Ms. Frenchco.
Yes.
Item number 9 is to enter into an agreement between the Board of Commissioners and Vienna Township as approved by ARPA Legal Counsel to be used for the purchase of necessary equipment for the fire department, which may include an ambulance, which is essential to continue the provision of safety services, especially with the increase of the volume of calls since COVID-19 pandemic. And the Board of Trumbull County Commissioners allocates a sum of $5,000 to the township.
Motion to approve?
Second the motion?
Mr. Cantala Mesa,
Yes.
Mr. Malloy.
Yes.
Ms. Frenchco.
Yes.
Item number 10 is to adopt a resolution authorizing expenditure for responding to or mitigating the public health emergency from American Rescue Plan Act funds, and this is for Baker, Dublicar, Beck, Wiley, and Matthews, ARPA Legal Counsel. Commissioners, on the next page, number 2, the county authorizes the expenditure of ARPA funds in the amount of $81,645 to ARPA Legal Counsel to pay said invoices. And the county authorizes up to an additional $168,355 in expenditures of ARPA funds for the provision of legal services relating to the expenditure of ARPA funds for a total of up to $250,000 authorized.
Motion to approve?
Second the motion?
Mr. Cantala Mesa,
Yes.
Mr. Malloy,
Yes.
Ms. Frenchco.
Yes.
Item number 11 is to amend Commissioners' regular meeting dated November 30th, 2022, item number 25, and amended on January 19th, 2023, item number 13. The original ARPA resolution allocation amount was $259,900. Amendment is necessary to increase the ARPA resolution allocation amount by $186,862, revising the total ARPA amount to $446,762 for the voter access for Trumbull County Board of Elections project to reflect actual expenditures associated with the awarded contract completed by United Contractors of NEO.
Motion to approve?
Second?
Mr. Cantala Mesa,
Yes.
Mr. Malloy,
Yes.
Ms. Frenchco.
Yes.
Item number 12 is to amend Commissioners' regular meeting agenda. Item number 12. $153.10. Amendment.
Go ahead, I'm sorry.
Amendment is necessary to increase the ARPA resolution allocation amount by $2,365.12, revising the ARPA resolution allocation amount to $218,919.22 for the Trumbull County Land Reutilization Corporation Building Demolition Program.
Motion to approve?
Second that?
Mr. Cantala Mesa,
Yes.
Mr. Malloy,
Yes.
Ms. Frenchco.
Yes.
Item number 14 is to amend Commissioners' regular meeting agenda dated January 19th, 2023. Item number 8, the original ARPA resolution allocation amount was $24,949.40. Amendment is necessary to increase the ARPA resolution allocation amount by $2,330.67, revising the ARPA resolution allocation amount to $27,280.07 for the transfer switch for the Trumbull County Family Court to reflect actual expenditures associated with the awarded contract completed by Ohio Machinery doing business as Ohio Cat.
A motion to approve?
Second.
Mr. Cantala Mesa,
Yes.
Mr. Malloy,
from nothing instead of just carrying in last year's figures. And I think that it actually forces governments and whoever uses that process to be more strategic with their spending and careful, because they have to prove for every penny spent, they have to support it or find another alternative way not to spend it. So the goal is not to spend the money as opposed to just spending the same way it was last year. Some communities do that and it works out marvelously. We don't. I still think it's a good idea. So I'm just going to say, wanted to comment on that.
Okay, for item 15, Mr. Cantala Mesa,
Yes.
Mr. Malloy,
Yes.
Ms. Frenchco.
No, I think it's going to be overspending again.
Item number 16 is to approve additional appropriations.
Motion to approve?
Second.
Mr. Cantala Mesa,
We should have, I wanted to have discussion. On additional appropriations. There are, some of them are quite a bit. Can someone explain?
Commissioners, the commissioners is ARPA money. If it's 077, it's ARPA.
The sheriff? The 2 million,
That's not the sheriff.
I'm
Not
sorry, is
sheriff.
that sheriff? I'm sorry. HR.
Insurance, the medical insurance.
The claims are was this not predictable?
You have to talk in the microphone, Christie, if you're going to talk.
Good morning, Commissioners. This was absolutely predictable. As HR has been making you aware, since I've been here for the past 2 years, the hospitalization costs are climbing and continue to climb. Additionally, this money is allocated as it comes in. So we needed the $2.2 million to cover us for the rest of the year. These are actual hospitalization claims, meaning monies that we need to pay for services that employees have been rendered. Thank you, Commissioners.
So these are just, they're only on our agenda right now. So these have been.
We couldn't predict
covered.
how many people were going to get sick at
Right.
the beginning of the
No,
year.
what I'm saying is there's over $2 million on the agenda right now. So is this from 1 month or something? Or has this,
Cumulatively.
what is the period of?
The whole year.
Sure. So what we're saying is that we need 2.2 million to cover us for November and December to get us through the rest
Despite
of
what
this
you're
year.
saying about
Correct.
zero-based budgeting, you can't zero-based budget when it comes to things like this.
Especially non-hospitalization. Yeah. Any other questions?
Christie has something to say.
Could have been in the.
Auditor Yoder just wanted me to make sure that you knew that this was not general fund money. This is the hospitalization, the Fund 720.
Yep.
And that this is kind of like one of our clearing accounts that sometimes as we budget conservatively, but if we receive more money, then we have to appropriate more money. And that is the case with this fund too. We did receive more from the departments for the insurance, so now we have to budget it to pay the insurance company for those.
It's coming out of that
claims.
department.
Fund
Yes,
720, yeah.
HR. So the other question I have or comment I'd like to suggest, I, and correct me if I'm wrong, the consulting services for human resources are coming out of the commissioner's fund, not HR. Is that right?
Well, that would be because it's a consulting services for the Board of Commissioners. So that is very clear in the contract. And the Board of Commissioners has delineated the human resources as the designee on behalf of all the Board of Commissioners.
Show that? Because I haven't seen anything and I asked for that.
I mean, commissioners, is that not
We
what,
signed the contract.
that's my job description. The contract is very clear. Everything's documented.
The contract does not say that and it's not clear. And I would suggest that moving forward next year, whoever's listening, incoming commissioners, that the consulting services for HR, even though the commissioners sign it, just like they do for everything in the county, that it be applied to the budget for human resources. Because we have a human resources department that is spending a lot in consulting services, which shouldn't be the case.
It's all general fund.
Right, but it's spent there. It's just important for the public and the commissioners and anyone who is governing the county to be able to see what departments are spending and to have that coming to the commissioners. It looks like it's commissioners' expenditures when in actuality it's related to human resources. And however many times she picks up the phone because she needs help with something, that's looking like it's the commissioners' expenses when in actuality.
Actually-
Wait, commissioners, can I speak in facts, please? I think it's really important that you know the true facts. And she knows this as well because Clemens Nelson provided her with the breakdowns. I actually took the time to work with Debbie at Clemens Nelson to make sure that the auditor gets charged for her portion, the recorders get charged for his portion. You're saying $10,000 a month, which is a total farce. It is $10,000 a month amongst all of our elected officials. And I have those broken down by invoice. So you continue to say that it's HR picking up the phone. However, it is Auditor Yoder when she has questions for Clemens Nelson. It is Todd Littell when he has questions for Clemens Nelson. It is the entire county. That is what this is here for, to protect the Board of Commissioners and general fund monies. Is that not is that not what the Board of Commissioners hired this firm for?
Wrong. If you read the contract, the client it's not for the other services, it's for HR services.
It is for
the
contract
board.
negotiations, which come out of general
Which
fund.
I'm
the,
telling
the
you-
appointing authority takes the
Correct.
lead on that, the elected
But
official.
it's not going to rewrite history and it's not going to rewrite the agreement that's in place right now.
Well,
And this is completely incorrect. And in addition to that, every time you go after an employee and you decide you want to put them on leave or be punitive with them or have all these hearings and such, that comes out of the commission. It looks like it's coming out of the commissioner's budget when it's actually being done in human resources.
The only
And that's
person
all-
going after employees is you,
That's
Commissioner.
right.
I was going
We
to say,
don't
not
have
to mention the amount
the
of
only one
funds.
that's gone after employees.
Commissioners, not to mention the
Finding.
amount of funds that we've had to expend because of, obviously HR issues with hostile work environment being
No, that's
followed.
incorrect.
So no, that is correct, actually, very much so. All right, commissioners, if you have any additional questions or need
Thank you.
facts, I will gladly provide them to you.
And since she said that, I will say this on the record. We had not one claim or complaint that was filed against the Board of Commissioners related to me was substantiated. We didn't even get to discovery on those matters. And the only reason
We're
the
forced to settle.
We had to settle, so
We
we
had to
wouldn't pay
settle.
out the ass because of you.
continued, and I will.
We didn't want to bankrupt the county,
Let
so we
me-
had to settle some cases.
Right, let me explain. The only.
They're all public record. They can
Right.
read them. They can read the depositions
You-
and see who's.
Well, I'm done to interrupt instead of being a bully like you are. So the issue is there is a gag order placed on the Board of Commissioners and those who filed the complaints. However, the Board of Commissioners, Denny, Frank, Morrow, kept on saying that the county was responsible, kept on saying that I was responsible. That created a conflict of interest. So the one attorney that was covering the board and me and everyone had to withdraw because they wouldn't keep their mouth shut. They created a conflict of interest, which caused two new
Call the
law.
question,
which
please.
caused
Call the
two-
question.
Two new
We are
Two-
off the rails
two-
once again. Call the
Attorney-
question.
law firms to be hired. And because Corsa had to hire two new law firms, they decided that it was better, and they had clients
call the
who were
question.
trying to
Wait
get-
until you see what our attorney bill is when
and
you're
who
gone.
had
I bet you it's a
clients
goose egg.
who were trying to get settlements for the employees that were not cooperative. They
Okay,
decided to settle.
I'm going to
So
call the question for item
That's
16.
the reality
Mr.
of it.
Cantala
Yes.
Mesa, Mr. Malloy,
Yes.
Ms. Frenchco. Additional appropriations.
Yeah, I see that. What's the TID for?
That's the money we got, the grant money we got from the state when we
That's the
applied for the
grant.
TID. Yes.
Can anyone else confirm that? Yeah, she is. Okay, I see you're nodding. Okay. Just want to verify it with someone honest. Yes.
Item number 17 is to approve transfer of appropriations.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Mr. Cantala Mesa,
And on
Yes.
this one, it had an additional $32,000 from the commissioners for legal. What legal is that? Does anyone know? It, on the explanation, it said legal, so I just wondered if it was due to the open meetings violation.
It could be us having to defend ourselves against your frivolous lawsuit that you filed against us, that we will go to court and win in January with. Probably that.
Okay.
That's I guess we could
Probably
note
that.
that Fund 001/Nikki Frenchco Legal Fund.
You know what? If you guys would actually do what's right, then there would not be people filing complaints about you for
Let's-
destroying records. and
let's-
for
Let's go to
funding
court and
fraud.
see. We'll go to court gladly.
okay, so for item 17, Mr. Cantala Mesa,
Yes.
Mr. Malloy,
Yes.
Ms. Frenchco.
Yes.
Item number 18 is to adopt a resolution approving the submitted list labeled as ORC 5705.41D, November 2024 of purchase orders to the various vendors as then and now purchase orders in compliance with ORC as listed.
A motion to approve.
Second.
Mr. Cantala Mesa,
Yes.
Mr. Malloy,
Yes.
Ms. Frenchco.
Yes.
Item number 19 is to receive and place on file the monthly activities report for the months of October and November 2024 for the Trumbull County Dog Kennel.
Motion to approve.
I'll second that.
Mr. Cantala Mesa,
Yes.
Mr. Malloy,
Yes.
Ms. Frenchco.
Yes.
Item number 20 is to accept an award bid to the lowest responsive and responsible bid submitted by Vendrick Construction, Inc. for the Trumbull County Fairgrounds 4-H Building Replacement Project in the amount of $597,800, and to further authorize Danny Malloy, President of the Board of Commissioners, to execute any and all documents required for this agreement on behalf of Trumbull County.
Has anything changed on this agenda item from yesterday to today? Because I mean, there was discussion yesterday about changing this or.
We didn't change anything. There is another agenda item where we're reappropriating any funds they have left at the end back to the fairgrounds that I made yesterday. It's coming up later in the agenda. It's an additional one from yesterday's copy. So if the,
So you added something to the agenda yesterday?
As
did.
any commissioner can do, as you can do.
No, I have not. The clerk has refused to do anything.
Actually, you
like
have
that.
3 items on the agenda right now.
If I don't. get
That's
them
not true.
if I don't get them to her by Thursday, as if I'm not a.
It was
executive.
Tuesday. That's why it was on. He discussed it in a workshop.
One commissioner is not permitted, according to what you said in
What are
the
you
past,
talking about?
to add anything to the agenda. If it comes in late, it has to be approved.
You
by-
literally have 3 on here.
Because I gave them to her last week. There's a difference between that and what he did yesterday. It just proves this.
No, this is
difference.
ARPA related.
Doesn't
of
matter.
What I added. Yes, it does matter. There's a deadline.
No.
Okay, so I need somebody to move and second.
I'll
Oh.
motion to approve.
I'll
Second.
second.
Mr. Cantala Mesa,
Yes.
Ms. Frenchco.
Yes.
Mr. Malloy.
Yes.
And did something
I did.
that That was the dumbest conversation.
Item
I ever
number
heard.
21 is to approve
What is it?
modification number 38216-1 to the agreement with CT Consultants, Inc. to provide professional engineering services for the TRU TR095A Layer Road, Warren Number 1 Bridge Replacement Project located on Layer Road over Duck Creek in Warren Township.
Motion to approve?
A second?
Mr. Cantala Mesa,
Yes.
Mr. Malloy.
Yes.
Ms. Frenchco.
Yes.
Item number 22 is to concur with the Trumbull County Engineer to proceed with the if authorized section of the agreement with MS Consultants, Inc. to provide professional engineering services for the program year 2025 Trumbull County Annual Bridge Inspection Program in the amount of $240,576, approximately 275 bridges, and a cost plus amount of $20,000 for services to be provided for this agreement.
Motion to approve?
Second?
Mr. Cantala Mesa,
Yes.
Mr. Malloy,
Yes.
Ms. Frenchco.
Yes.
Item number 23 is to concur with the county engineer to grant the right-of-way permit requested by the company listed, Enbridge Gas, Ohio.
Motion to approve?
Second that?
Mr. Cantala Mesa,
Yes.
Mr. Malloy,
Yes.
Ms. Frenchco.
Yes.
Item number 24 is to amend Commissioner's regular meeting agenda dated December 11th, 2024, item number 32, to receive the filing for petition for annexation seeking to annex property situated in the township of Weathersfield, Trumbull County, Ohio, and further known as being all of the new lots 1A of the replat of Lot 1 of Gearmar Properties, Inc., plat number 1, as recorded at Trumbull County plat instrument, number is listed, and other adjacent lands as set forth in the petition to the City of Niles. Amendment is necessary to correct the annexation type from expedited type 1 to regular annexation.
Motion to approve?
I'll second that.
Mr. Cantala Mesa.
Discussion, this isn't the one that we had Berkey working with, but I did want to say, just for the record, so the board is aware, because they don't understand, or at least Dunny didn't, nor did our attorney. I don't know why they have an attorney like Berkey, but whenever you have these petitions coming in for annexation, it's important that you actually have them signing, the person who's making signing the petition has to have the authority to sign for the property. So if they're not the deeded property owner and they're part of a partnership or something, you have to have the proof of it there. And that those have been slipping in. And I believe that the board is about to, the incoming board, and if anyone on the incoming board is listening, disregard what Berkey is saying, because manager does not qualify you to be able to sign to annex property. You would have to have managing partner and proof that that is that they have the ownership to do so. So a lot of things that are slipping in to the
Commissioner,
county.
did you not read your email? The latest email we got from the company, from the owners, that they designated a partner manager is the one that's dealing with this? No, you're thinking manager like the manager of the property, the manager of the business. It's not that. It's the manager of their accounts of their business affairs.
Yeah.
So it is legal.
So we would have to see something from that organization that's on the deed, and we do not have that. That's what I'm saying.
Okay, read your
So-
email.
Right. I saw what was provided, but we don't have anything from the actual owner.
You're absolutely wrong.
There's no
Move on.
proof of ownership. Okay.
Okay, so for item
That's what happens when
24,
you have
Mr.
someone who's
Cantala
like-
Mesa,
Yes.
History is in
Mr.
guns and
Malloy.
getting fired from ODNR, actually dealing with major things that relate to property and annexations and government. It's sad.
Says the woman who hasn't sold a house in years. Go ahead.
Mr. Malloy,
'Cause I-
for this
Yes.
item. Ms. Frenchco.
Yes.
Item number 25 is to approve the personnel action for the employment of Michael Luco to full-time position of telecommunicator in the Trumbull County 911 Department, earning $17.48 per hour effective Sunday, December 22nd, 2024.
And I'm going to go back to that statement. I am a licensed realtor. I have not been working as.
Oh, my goodness. Come on, let your ego get out of the way for a second. Let's do business.
Just insulted me and said because I haven't sold a house.
And you
yet.
insulted me and said I was
Right.
fired and I wasn't.
Right. Yeah,
So
were.
you're
removed.
setting yourself on a
You're
lawsuit
removed.
there.
So I actually have, I have that licensure and I've been working my job as a commissioner full-time.
Really?
And
Not on
that does-
Tuesdays during
that does-
workshops.
That doesn't negate the.
Where were
fact
you
that
yesterday at the
since two-
African American
since-
Museum ribbon cutting?
Since two
Where were you
thousand,
at the hospital opening yesterday?
since two thousand and
working hard.
three, I've been licensed and I have been doing my continuing education related to titles, deeds, property, all things that you need to do in order to have your continuing education to recertify your licensure every other year. I've done the same thing with real estate, the same thing with social work. I keep up on continuing education, which you have none of. So please.
You have no
stop
idea
with
what my
the insult.
background is, and what my scholastic.
Okay.
Make a motion to approve.
I'll second that.
Mr. Cantala Mesa,
Yes.
Mr. Malloy,
Yes.
Ms. Frenchco.
Yes. And as far as the insults about not, I didn't know anything that was going on yesterday related to the hospital because the staff keeps things from me.
The invite came from the hospital, not the staff.
And then second.
Were you not invited?
Secondly,
We stick to
yes,
the
right, no,
agenda.
no, seriously, if you're gonna say that,
Gwen
Miss
Shaver
May-
stood there last week and invited all three of us to the
Right.
ribbon cutting.
right. and
Where
let-
were
and
you?
Let me continue. If we have, all of us have personal issues and I don't know if anyone's ever had pets, but I have an
Oh my
animal.
God, that cat's dragging on for 3 weeks. So you haven't been working for 3 weeks because your cat's sick? 3 weeks?
This is ridiculous. Now, yeah, I do have, that's so cruel. Yeah, I had to get her.
Item number
Let's move on.
26
Yeah.
is to approve the personnel action for the employment of Dennis Lovelace
Sick.
to the full-time position of telecommunicator in the Trumbull County 911 Department, earning $17.96 per hour effective Sunday, January 5th, 2024.
Motion to approve.
I'll second that.
Mr. Cantala Mesa,
Yes.
Mr. Malloy,
Yes.
Ms. Frenchco.
Yes.
Item number 27 is to accept the resignation of Ernest Mormon, custodial worker in the Building Maintenance Department, effective December 20th, 2024.
Motion to approve.
I'll second that.
Mr. Cantala Mesa,
Yes.
Mr. Malloy,
Yes.
Ms. Frenchco.
Yes, and it has been an absolute pleasure working with Ernest. He's one of the kindest, sweetest employees that we have here. And it was, I got to say goodbye to him. He's moving back to Mississippi, and I just wish him all the best.
Item number 28 is to authorize Danny Malloy, President of the Board of Commissioners, to sign, countersign on behalf of the Trumbull County Department of Job and Family Services, the agreements per the submitted list. These agreements create 26 training opportunities and 3 job opportunities at a total cost of $231,464.39, fully funded through Workforce Innovation and Opportunity Act allocations.
Motion to approve.
I'll second that.
Mr. Cantala Mesa,
Yes.
Mr. Malloy,
Yes.
Ms. Frenchco.
Yes.
Item number 29 is to approve contract 850-25-10 between the Trumbull County Department of Job and Family Services and All American USA Taxi, Inc. for the term of October 1st, 2024 through September 30th, 2025 in the amount of $800,000.
Motion to approve.
I'll second.
I wanted to ask about the procurement process. I got copies of the agreements, but I didn't get anything about the procurement or if there is a request for qualifications or bid proposals. Can someone from that department answer that? Because there was nothing.
John Gargano, Job and Family Services Commissioner. Every year it goes out to bid requesting certain qualifications for the transportation needs of the county. and those on Medicaid. So it's done every year.
So it went out to bid, but I didn't receive, in my packet, I just got the agreements. I didn't get to see the results of them or, how many people bid and if they had all their,
That's what, once the bids are in, they're reviewed, they're qualified to see if they've responded to everything that's in the bid package.
right.
And if they have not, obviously, they're not considered. But those that are on the agenda are the ones that have applied or bid, I should say, and met the qualifications.
But the Board of Commissioners reviews those things.
Well, they never have before, Commissioner.
No county general funds are
Understand.
requested.
County general funds are requested.
So you
or
can't
not.
do your own job. You want to do his job too and review everything he does and second check?
No,
He's a
and-
department head. One of the highest paid employees we have, are a lawyer. He knows how to do his job.
So we
He knows exactly what he's doing
We don't
and he does a damn good job at it.
So we don't he does a damn good job at it.
He does.
Okay,
He oversees more employees than any other department in the county.
okay. So our job as commissioners is to make sure things are done correctly and to review the process just to make sure that it was done right. And I don't see anything. That's why I like to see.
Did you get a
The bids.
complaint it wasn't done correctly? Or is this just something you're trying to drum up?
Also, if I may interject, Commissioner, we've been doing this since you've been in the position for the last 3 or 4 years. You've never requested it.
Yeah, I've asked. And I've also asked on a regular basis to make sure. So I'm gonna say on this item, the agreement says October 1st of 2024. These were done, they started in the summer. They're not getting to us until December. So you're asking us for several of these items to go back and sign agreements that were done and finished in September retroactively. And this is the best employee that the county has and does everything correctly.
Sir,
I-
This has
I-
been reviewed
so let
with
me
the
just-
prosecutor's office. There's been no issue with it. There have been no payments that have been made on the new contract. It has to be reviewed. The vendors have to come in and sign the agreements.
Doesn't matter. It's not done correct. It's not done correctly.
your-
So you
Okay.
want the people getting services to sit there and wait at home and not get any service?
What I
Until
want
the ink
is
is
for our
dry in the
depart-
process.
I want our department heads to work expeditiously because we know damn well that if it was. a-
Should have led
if
by
it was-
example.
If it was a maintenance employee or someone else who didn't do something for 4 months, that they would be written up and put on unpaid leave. But we allow department heads to routinely submit things that are months late and then make excuses and sing their praises. I don't think that that's fair, and I think things need to be done correctly.
Bill Danzo has literally come up here and said
Right.
that there is no issue with that.
Right.
None.
Has
So
said-
you are
yeah,
creating issues where there are no issues, Commissioner.
He has said as long as.
That is
Right.
where we're at.
No-
That's
no
the problem
funds-
we're in right
no
now. is You're
funds-
creating issues where there are no issues.
You can, it is an issue. You can still spend,
Legally, it is not an issue.
you can't spend the money until there's an agreement, so they're doing. the
No money
agreement.
has been spent on
I
the new
understand.
agreements.
But to tell the public that you think that it's okay for the Board of Commissioners to routinely have things signed and right before January that are retrodated from September. you
It
have to
happens
consider-
all the
It
time.
happens all the time and it shouldn't. It's a damn
That's
shame.
that's your opinion. That's
They-
not our prosecutor's office opinion or John Gargano or the state
Our
JFS's
prosecutor's
opinion.
office knows damn well that things should be signed before they start, but in order to keep things moving, they're just,
Now you're gonna
it's
speak for the
okay.
prosecutor's office.
It would be better. I know that he knows it would be better. Everyone knows that it's
He's
the
come
right
up
thing.
here
to do.
repeatedly and said there's no issue
It
with
doesn't
it.
take an attorney or a rocket scientist to realize
It's never
that
gonna
it-
matter.
that-
You're never
that it-
gonna see it.
that an agreement that says October 1st should be signed prior to October 1st or on October 1st. Certainly not in December or January. You are getting better. Some of the department heads are, but this.
All
is
these
okay.
union contracts we sign, then we go retroactive and give them retroactive pay that
That's wrong
expired
too.
months ago. We shouldn't just not let them work until the contract's done.
But you signed off on all those. You've actually voted on all those.
Negotiation, this is different. These are
This is different.
agreement.
It's not an agreement. It's not a contract.
It's.
The union contract is not a contract.
And creating drama where there is none.
This is not okay. Things should be done the right way and department heads should be even have consequences
move
for
on,
not
please.
providing
Please
things
call a vote.
on time.
For item 29, Mr. Cantala Mesa,
Yes.
Mr. Malloy,
Yes.
Ms. Frenchco.
I'm abstaining. Because it's not, I didn't get an I didn't get the proof that they came in right, or an opinion that says this is okay.
Item
Or
number
did you ask for them?
They're supposed to be submitted. They're supposed to be submitted with the agenda items, but she just does what she wants.
Item number 30 is to approve contract number 781-25-10 between the Department of Job and Family Services and All American USA Taxi for the term of October 1st, 2024 through
1st.
September 30th, 2025, in the amount not to exceed $10,000.
Motion to approve?
Second.
Mr. Cantala Mesa,
Yes.
Mr. Malloy.
Yes.
Ms. Frenchco.
Because this did not come with the prosecutor's opinion. It doesn't have the spreadsheet to show the breakdown, and it's not done in a
Right
timely
here.
fashion.
There's the prosecutors.
And it's ironic that the state hasn't making it obligations. It's their money.
They're spending. Okay, all right. You guys can just, you have the
Here it is,
right,
right here.
you
It's
have the right
prosecutor's
to rubber
office.
stamp. It's a free country.
It's
You're
the
duly
prosecutor's
elected and you
opinion.
could rubber
Video,
stamp all you want.
folks,
You don't
everybody.
have to verify it.
Just refuses to look at it.
Yes, I saw this. This is an approval as to form because it is the same form as before. It does not say that it's an approval as to correctness or process, just to form. I know that that might be over their heads, but that's okay.
What is your vote?
I'm abstaining.
Item number 31 is to approve contract 850-25-80 between the Department of Job and Family Services and Garwin, Inc. for the term October 1st, 2024 through September 30th, 2025, in an amount not to exceed $550,000.
Motion to approve?
Second.
Mr. Cantala Mesa,
Yes.
Mr. Malloy.
Yes.
Ms. Frenchco.
Because this was not done correctly, timely, we don't have an RFP. I can't vote for something that's not done right. I'm abstaining.
Item number 32 is to approve contract 735-25-80 between the Department of Job and Family Services and Garwin, Inc. for the term of October 1st, 2024 through September 30th, 2025, in an amount not to exceed $32,000.
Motion to approve?
Second.
Mr. Cantala Mesa,
Yes.
Mr. Malloy,
Yes.
Ms. Frenchco.
For the same reason, I'm abstaining.
Item number 33 is to approve contract 850-25-240 between the Department of Job and Family Services and Loving Hands Home Care for the term of January 1st, 2025 through September 30th, 2025, in the amount of $175,000.
Motion to approve?
I'll second.
Mr. Cantala Mesa,
Yes.
Mr. Malloy,
Yes.
Ms. Frenchco.
For the same reason, because it's not correct or, and we don't have the verification, about the bids being ranked or everything being there correctly. I'm abstaining.
Item number 34 is to approve contract 850-25-230 between the Department of Job and Family Services and Jodell's Transportation Company LLC for the term of January 1st, 2025 through September 30th, 2025, in the amount of $175,000.
Motion to approve?
I'll second.
Mr. Cantala Mesa,
Yes.
Mr. Malloy,
Yes.
Ms. Frenchco.
Abstaining for the same reasons.
Item number 35 is to authorize change order number 2 to the contract with Proscape Septic and Landscape Contractors, providing a contract extension, extending the project completion date from December 11th, 2024 to February 10th, 2025 for 2 HSTS repairs and replacements awarded November 14th, 2024 through change order number 1, and to authorize Denny Malloy, President of the Board, to sign any related documents.
Motion to approve?
I'll second.
Mr. Cantala Mesa,
Yes.
Mr. Malloy,
Yes.
Ms. Frenchco.
Yes.
Item number 36 is to ratify the submission of amendment request number 2 to the Ohio Department of Development for grant number BF 231CS1, project year 2023 CDBG Community Development Program, and to authorize the president, Denny Malloy, to sign any related required documents.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Mr. Cantala Mesa,
Yes.
Mr. Malloy,
Yes.
Ms. Frenchco.
Yes.
Item number 37 is to amend Commissioners' regular meeting agenda dated April 24th, 2024. Item number 22, adding the following language to the original resolution pertaining to Project Year 2024 Community Housing Impact and Preservation Grant Application submitted to the State of Ohio in June 2024 in the amount of $250,000. Amendment is necessary to include the additional language stating that the Board of Trumbull County Commissioners accepts responsibility for and authority over the entire Project Year 2024 CHIP Program grant.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Mr. Cantala Mesa,
Yes.
Mr. Malloy,
Yes.
Ms. Frenchco.
Yes.
Item number 38 is to approve change order number 1, final, for Miller Yount Paving, Inc. for the Howland Scope Center parking lot resurfacing project in the amount of $8,049.60 and authorize Danny Malloy, President, to execute all documents on behalf of the Board of Commissioners.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Mr. Cantala Mesa,
Yes.
Mr. Malloy,
Yes.
Ms. Frenchco.
Yes.
Item number 39 is to notify the Ohio Department of Liquor Control that a public hearing is not requested on the liquor permit application listed, and that's Class D2 Country Fair Inc., doing business as Country Fair, store number 74, Niles Cortland Road in Howland Township.
Motion to approve.
I'll second.
This didn't come to the Board of Commissioners. We have let me just explain. Anything that goes on our agenda is supposed to be approved. It's supposed to have certain information with it, or even a copy of what's being put on here so that we can see where it came from. The clerk, once again.
I had these checked by the sheriff's
Again,
office.
Once you do not work for the sheriff, you work for the Board of Commissioners. You're supposed to supply those things to the Board of
This is a
Commissioners.
routine liquor permit.
Right, and
There's a deadline.
right there. That doesn't mean that you don't share the information with the commissioners. You're failing to share information with the commissioners that we need in order to vote on something. You're not giving us anything. It's inept and it's just terrible. So I've been asking regularly. Finally, she gave us a copy of the
Have you
the
ever got a
document
liquor
hall
permit from
report.
any clerk ever in the
Yes,
past?
the clerks regularly gave them to us on a regular basis.
Okay.
And now this one.
They are
is refused to.
pass-throughs. We don't do anything with
We
them.
still have to look at them. Same with the engineering permits for the roads, for the bridges, for the special hauling permits. Those are routine as well, but they still provide a copy to us. This is something routine, but they still, just to have our eyes on it, we get elected in order to review what we vote on, and it's disgusting that other people don't look at them, and it's also, I think, disgusting that the staff doesn't provide us with the things that we need to vote on.
No, in order to run a county effectively, you have to
There's
empower people
no
to do those things.
Listen,
And you have to
there's
trust that
no-
they do
there's-
those things.
Trusting is, that's
That's where we differ.
Right.
I'm serious. That's where we differ.
because you want to just rubber stamp. Alls we need to do, all
Because we have
it's
people in
not-
place to
it's
look at those things.
reason not to give the commissioners.
There's no
copy of
reason for you to
something.
ask me for a routine liquor permit either.
I've received it until she got here, and actually, some of the time she was giving them to us. Yes, because
Mr. Cantala
one of them I had
Mesa,
a problem
Yeah.
with.
Mr. Malloy,
Yes.
Ms. Frenchco.
Because the clerk didn't give us any of the information in order to vote on this, I'm abstaining.
Abstain.
Nothing
Item
would ever
number
get done.
40 is to notify
The staff. would
the
actually
Ohio
have to do what
Department
they're
of Liquor
supposed to do.
Control that a public hearing is not requested on the liquor permit application listed. This is a Class D1 Oaxaca Taco LLC, first floor and patio, Niles Cortland Road in Howland Township.
Motion to approve.
I'll second.
Mr. Cantala Mesa,
Yes.
Mr. Malloy,
Yes.
Ms. Frenchco.
Again, because the clerk did not provide anything to the commissioners, and it's just appearing on our agenda without even something from the sheriff's department. And I'm going to abstain. And the reality is with what Mauro just said, is that we should just trust things. We shouldn't have anything.
I didn't say that.
We should just trust that they all did their jobs
Didn't
and
say
come
that.
in and vote yes. So the same logic.
Please,
should
you
apply to
misquoted me,
everything. So,
but thank
okay.
you.
Item number 41 is to approve an agreement between the Board of Trumbull County Commissioners and Dynegy Energy Services, Inc.
And I want to say.
for
can you please-
electric
can-
generation supply and
point-
related
point of
services.
Order, point of order. We have an employee in the front row, a commissioner's office employee saying liar and thief and things like that. It's disruptive. Can you please I'd like to ask that you have them shut their mouths until the meeting's over and it's time for, it's just inappropriate.
I'm not hearing anything.
I haven't heard anything either, but your mouth.
I'm sure that it's heard. It's not being picked up on these microphones if you're watching this. on
Neither is your
YouTube,
voice, clearly.
but This is being,
You don't interrupt her
Yeah.
feed, that's the important thing here. Don't interrupt her show. Okay.
Okay,
Continue.
item 41 is to approve an agreement between the Board of Trumbull County Commissioners and Dynegy Energy Services, Inc. for electric generation supply and related services pursuant to Ohio Revised Code, Section 4929.26. The agreement will be effective upon execution by both parties for power flow commencing March 2025 and shall remain in effect for 14 months or until the end of the master service agreement with the selected supplier, whichever comes later.
Motion to approve.
I'll second, but discussion, and I see, Mr. Bellish, to enact this agreement, you were gonna come and give us what the price is today. If we're gonna sign it today, did you come up with a price with what today's rate is that we'll be locked into? Okay. So you want us to sign a contract today and approve a contract with you on a fixed rate for 14 months, but we don't know what the rate is as of now.
no, we can't. I personally won't vote on something unless it's provided. And I understand that it's not your fault because this guy was kicking the can and wouldn't let you do what you needed to do in a timely fashion.
I
but
did due diligence to make sure we get the best for the county,
Right.
the best rate, and we don't know what the rate is as of right now.
The way that this should have happened, I believe that don't you get better rates for longer periods of time? Or does it not matter? Not right now? Pardon? Okay, so
If you can, we can. If you need a few minutes, let's go ahead and table this. Let's
no, we
table
don't
this.
need to Table it because we don't have to remove it from table. I would just say that we can put this at the end of we can move this item and vote on it at the end of the agenda to give you enough time. Okay?
Okay, item 42 now, please. We'll move 41 to the end.
Item number 42 is to grant permission to the Trumbull County Engineer to perform the work listed during the period beginning January 1st, 2025 and ending December 31st, 2025, as provided under Section 5543.19 of the Ohio Revised Code.
Motion to approve.
I'll second that.
Mr. Cantala Mesa,
Yes.
Mr. Malloy,
Yes.
Ms. Frenchco.
Yes.
Item number 43 is to amend Commissioner's regular meeting agenda dated November 20th, 2024. Item number 7, to adopt a resolution authorizing expenditure for responding to or mitigating the public health emergency from American Rescue Plan Act funds. And this is the 4-H building replacement, including MOU. The scope of work for the original MOU is expanded to include improvements to the swine barn, installing a public address system, constructing a pavilion. Related engineering is needed and any required appurtenances needed to complete the projects. Amendment is necessary to add the revised language for the scope of work to the ARPA resolution and the MOU for the renamed 4-H building and related structures project, with the goal of expending the entire $850,000 allocation on improvements to the Trumbull County Fairgrounds.
This is you want to I want to discuss this, but I don't want the county to get in a jam.
This was written by the ARPA attorney yesterday. We were on the phone with her. We had a conference call with her after, and this agenda item was written by Tanya Rogers and submitted to us and approved by her.
I didn't see anything from,
Of course you didn't. You weren't there yesterday.
it doesn't.
Or you could have been in the
wait,
phone call
no,
with us.
Yeah. Yeah. call me. If someone would actually call me, I would have, because I actually was instrumental in getting this approved when it was originally denied. And so one of the things is
This,
I don't-
this whole
hang on,
expansion thing
stop.
came to me over the last week and now we want to add it to it if, because there's going to be money left over,
Stop.
250,000 from the initial
I understand.
project. So we got it approved so
wait.
they can get the money. You want to hold it up and tell them no?
This was approved and it was very specific. The only way, because I worked on.
Correct. It was approved by the
Stop.
attorney and it's approved
Stop.
again.
Let me talk. You can talk when I'm
There
done
should be
talking.
no discussion on it yet anyways. Is there a motion?
I'll talk whenever.
If she's speaking, it's already a motion, so I'll second
Okay.
it for discussion.
So please be quiet while I'm explaining this to you. This was denied originally, and the only reason why this was eligible was because of the angle used in order to qualify the project. And that was because this project was very specific to providing a space for, a bathroom and eating areas that were in response to COVID, that for social distancing, and to make sure that there is what was the other thing? We also used the figures rather than, because originally they were using Bezetta Township figures, and I made sure that we included all of Trumbull County because we have open fair or open shows, which include people from up to like 80 something years old. So doing all this craftiness allowed that whole project to be eligible, but the swine barn portion, I don't.
There's an opinion letter from Ms. Rogers. If you would like me to go get it printed and bring it out to you, I can do that.
Same person that
So
approved the
she
thing you're
issued an
talking
opinion
about
letter
approved this too.
yesterday.
So you're telling me she doesn't know what she's talking about?
Yes,
I will go ahead and take care of that if you guys would like.
Yes, if you. Thank
We
you.
worked hard yesterday to get her to approve this and do it overnight so we can have it by the end of the year to make sure we didn't lose out on this money
Right, I just.
for the fair board.
My concern is if, just so that you understand how grants work and how these types of things happen, if you have something that's already been approved and then you tack something onto it, that's not
We're
completely.
paying an attorney $250,000 to make us legal, and this is her opinion. Do you know more than her? I didn't see a law degree on your wall.
It's not, oh my God, it's an
It's in
MPA.
your head.
It's a master.
Your
of
law
public-
degree is in your
Would
head.
you stop?
The attorney knows what she's talking about. We ran it by her. She
Again.
looked at, she did the research. She came back and said, yes, this
Again.
can be done. Here's the wording for it to make it legal. And you want to disagree with that? You want to argue about
No,
that?
that's not what I'm saying.
I have
What
a question on the
what I'm-
procurement aspect of it. Is the PLA involved in this project at any point? Because it probably should be. 'Cause it's our county building and it exceeds that amount. We have it in our procurement policies.
The one that you guys had from back in.
The one you wrote that you were, so you helped out so much on 850,000, you put it in there?
I don't know.
No, you don't even know what he's talking about, Denny. So the one that you guys voted on
Yes.
back in 20 and
That
18
still
before I
stands.
got here, yes, it said May. There was some language, it wasn't very exact. So.
Yeah.
Well.
Letters.
Looks to me like an illegal opinion from
I'm
the
reading this.
ARPA attorney that says go forth with it.
Just a privilege, please, for you
Okay.
to be quiet and shut your damn mouth so I can read something? Jesus.
Something you should have read yesterday when we had a workshop.
Yes.
You see, it's dated yesterday. You could have read it yesterday.
Again.
At home while you were taking care of your cat, you could have read it.
Okay, point of personal privilege, I'm gonna read it over here because you don't know how to. Oh, you do?
What are we gonna do the next year or the next couple of years? How are we gonna miss this?
Bill and Mike, excuse me. I know we're not currently but can I have a word, probably publicly too, about the PLA? Is that something we can discuss? Because I didn't know, to my knowledge, that's a part of the procurement. So when it comes to county buildings, especially when it reaches a certain threshold.
Yeah, Commissioner, good morning. Bill Danso from the prosecutor's office, and I obviously would welcome Mike's input as well. Um, Correct, the PLA applies to projects over a certain dollar value, and I can't remember what the approved value was on that.
$100,000.
It was 100,000. There was some question as to whether that, in the past, I know there was some question as to whether because of the procurement rules of ARPA, that was something that could be included in there. I think my understanding was that that was a question that was going to be maybe raised with Tanya at some point, but I don't know personally whether that ever was fully determined under the ARPA funds. So
At any rate, everything that we've been doing procurement related to these ARPA projects has been correct. So whether or not that's included, it's been an issue since I got here, trying to change the language. I remember you've written 2 opinions, I think, related to it, and nothing, no one else has done anything. So I'm comfortable just moving forward because we already do have labor, trade labor received the best, I'm sorry, they were the best bidders anyway, so.
yeah, I just wanted to clear that up because it was a question. That's the extent of my knowledge as far as the
Okay.
ARPA goes, because we have been relying.
Because we're
on
talking
Tanya's
about federal
guidance on
rules
that.
and we never got any
Correct.
clarity, I guess, on that.
Correct.
but,
And
yeah.
I don't know if Tanya did respond on
I
that.
don't
I'm
think
not
she did.
aware,
I
but
don't think she did.
thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay. I'm clear to move on.
Okay, Ms. Frenchco.
Yes.
Mr. Cantala Mesa.
Yes.
Mr. Malloy.
Yes.
Item number 44, to bring back all employees currently working remotely and prohibit remote work for all departments under the commissioners. This includes all employees under commissioners' departments.
Motion to approve.
Motion dies for lack of a second. 45.
Item number 45 is to prohibit the rehiring of retired employees to prevent double dipping for all hires in departments under the commissioner's office.
I am making a motion to approve preventing double dipping and rehiring.
Motion dies for lack of a second. 46.
Item number 46 is to eliminate health and other county benefits for all employees working under 30 hours per week to be consistent with policies.
I'm making a motion to approve eliminating health and other county benefits to all county employees working under 30 hours so that we're consistent with our county policies, because we do still have an employee who works remotely and does not track their hours as I believe they should, and
That's
getting
you're
benefits.
getting into
with-
discussion here,
and
and there's no,
is
the
getting
motion's read.
benefits without
Motion dies for lack of a second. No discussion.
favor broking at its best. The swamp.
Okay, that concludes our regular agenda items, our final regular agenda items for
And I want
the
to make
year,
one
the
more-
term.
One more motion from the floor. I'd like to make a motion to have the, all departments under the commissioner's office develop, policies and procedure manuals with workflow charts and standard operating procedures so that everyone, coming in and leaving will know what's going on. I've been trying to do that. You voted no. I just wanted to make that motion one more time. No?
Motion dies for lack of a second.
The final motion is I'm making a motion to grade the county buildings so that to grade the county buildings so that there is a log of, what's been done, what needs done, the repairs, so that the county can better plan for preventative maintenance and capital improvement to be more efficient.
Motion dies for lack of a second.
Okay.
Okay, anything else from the board? Public comment, anything for the good of Trumbull County, and we will time you on this one. You must be brief.
Shara Taylor. I am a resident of Trumbull County today. I am off the clock, and this is not about you, Commissioner. You know who you are. This is about Mauro at Mauro Cantala Mesa and all the good and selfless acts he's done for Trumbull County over the past years. So we're here to celebrate you.
Anybody else from the public?
I'm sorry, do we have a rate so that we can get that approved? Okay. I'd like to have,
So 7.9.
7.9. But it was 8.5 yesterday.
can I ask a question? Would it be better if we wait? I don't mind having a special meeting if it's gonna save money.
It's not gonna be better.
Do it now. You have such a long lead time. I'll let us will tell people that being enrolled for the next period, that the program's over.
Okay. Have the rates been higher before, or is this the lowest they've been in a few months? Were they lower? Okay.
2 years from now.
Was it lower last month? Just out of curiosity, was it lower last month?
Like,
And the month before? Yeah. Happens when we drag our feet, Denny. Okay.
Yeah, and we would have been in a 3-year contract had we done it
Okay.
last month instead of 14 months. And I believe the rates will go down over this
Okay.
new term with our new administration coming in. So does someone want to make a motion then for the one we moved to the end?
I will make a motion to approve. Wait, what number was it? So I could,
41.
I will make a motion to approve the agreement by and between the Board of Trumbull County Commissioners and Dynegy Energy Services, Inc. For electric generation supply related services pursuant to the revised code section 4929.26. The agreement will be effective upon execution by both parties for power flow commencing March of 2025 and shall remain in effect for 14 months or until the end of the master service agreement with the select provider or whichever comes later for the amount of 7.09 cents. I'm sorry, 7.90 cents per kilowatt hour. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. I'll second.
Ms. Frenchco.
Yes.
Mr. Cantala Mesa.
Yes.
Mr. Malloy.
Yes.
Thank you, Mr. Bellish.
Thank you, Tom. Commissioner, I'd just like to say one quick word. I just want to say thank you to everybody. It's been a pleasure serving. Public service is a humbling and rewarding profession to choose. I wouldn't have ever thought 10 years ago that I'd have been in this situation, but you know, it's really taken a lot from my family and from myself and from our family business, but it's all worth it. I do it all over again. And I love the people I work with, and it's just been an absolute dream come true. So thank you for being so good. And I believe that, I think that authenticity shows. You can't fake that. And I truly love Trumbull County, and it's coming from a place of caring and genuine authenticity. So thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Mr. Glenn.
Hi, Mr. Glenn, City of Niles. I've been waiting for this day for 4 years. Day one, I believe there's a deposition that she came in and said she was going to get rid of all the old ones and the ones that weren't educated enough.
That's a lie.
And she,
That's a lie.
in true narcissistic behavior, she targeted the most vulnerable, which one was my wife. I never got involved with politics before until this one came along. And I stood up and I wanted to fight for all the women in that office, all the employees, the deputies, the fellow commissioners, anyone against this evilness. She is a one-person wrecking crew, and I'm so glad that she's out the door. Thank you. Thank you all that participated in the drive to remove her. Yeah, we weren't successful, but we met a lot of good people and we held a lot of events. And I started asking everybody what how they related to her. And the number one thing is that biatch is crazy. Number one thing on the list. But I hope to never see her around again. Thank you.
I want to thank Kelly Glenn for coming and salsa dancing at me. As he did, because you contribute so significantly to my ability to win my my lawsuit. There is an actual section in the federal judge's opinion that showed the disparity because they arrested me for saying that I disrupted, they arrested me for saying that I disrupted a meeting,
Yeah.
but they compared, no, I didn't. It was dismissed, but they compared what I did by interrupting to what you did, and the judge agreed that what you did was so much more disruptive, and that's what caused, that's one of the reasons why I won. So thank you, Mr. Glenn.
Have Mr. Beatrice, when your suit comes up, have Mr. Beatrice subpoena me to testify to that day, because I was here and you were
It was-
guilty.
It was
Guilty.
already decided, so thank you.
What'd you get?
Thank you,
What
Kelly.
did you get? Thanks.
Okay,
Everybody's-
All right, order. I'd like to say also, I want to thank Commissioner Cantala Mesa. Since I got here, his mentorship, guidance to help me come up to speed with the job, the professionalism I've seen, the way he treats employees, the respect that I saw he gets from the public and employees is something that I hope to emulate through the rest of my career. I wish you luck
They hate
in
you
whatever
already,
endeavor
babe.
you have done. Commissioner, you're being rude. Can you please
Yeah.
be quiet and have some manners?
Okay,
Okay.
and we.
Yeah, all right, then, I'd like to address
I do want to say.
you then.
though-
Wait a minute. I have the floor. I have the floor.
So
I'm
just
gonna say,
remember this.
you'll have your say when it's done. I have the
Remember
floor.
this. When if
Commissioner-
I come back and I speak at a meeting and you stop me from interrupting, but you didn't stop others, that will help me if I come back with a
Sure.
lawsuit. So-
Okay, what I'd like to say too, though, Commissioner Frenchco, you've hurt employees' lives and livelihoods starting on day one with Mr.
No.
Elza. You
No.
continued week by week praying out your next victim.
No.
Turmoil, lawsuits, and tears left in your path.
No.
You attacked
No.
employees,
No, this
department
is
heads,
ridiculous. Who wrote
and
that for
colleagues
you?
and community. I did.
No.
Most disappointing is the
Frankfurter,
way
it
you
sounds like.
belittle women.
This is ridiculous.
I don't think you've ever met a strong woman you didn't
No.
envy
Oh
and
my
want to knock
God.
down, and that's very sad. You've hindered progress and made everything
That's
about you
ridiculous.
and your Facebook voyeurs, forsaking the needs of the community and what was best for our citizens. You'd rather play gotcha than offer a solution or solve a problem.
Okay.
Thank God there's a board of 3 and your negative votes were diminished and irrelevant.
Okay.
There's no marching band out there to celebrate your service. There'll be no cake with your name on it. There'll be no applause from the crowd at all to see you go. Just the wounded that want this to stop so they can heal,
This is so stupid.
which we will. We will move forward and flourish, and you'll soon just be a bad memory, a blip on our history. You were not and never have been bigger than the county, only in your mind and your twisted ego. Nikki, I'll
You're
put
the
it in
biggest.
military
You're the
terms for
biggest.
you that you might be able to understand. Commissioner, the voters have spoke, and you have been dishonorably discharged from your duties. So please now, Nikki, just go in peace.
Oh, the gavel. That was cute.
That said, I'll make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second.
Mr. Cantala
I didn't have an
Mesa,
opportunity to
Yes.
speak.
Mr. Malloy,
Yes.
Ms. Frenchco.
No, because I didn't have an opportunity to speak. But that was.
Thank you all for coming.